your host NK from Knowledge Suitcase. Today we are going to dive in the current hot topic of the Middle East, that is Iran. USA and Israel have made a combined attack on Iran on Saturday. Afterward, Iran retaliated and they also hit Israel and all the US bases in the Gulf and almost hit 4 to 5 countries. Afterward, in the late night, we have seen a fury of Iran. They hit Israel deep inside, and a barrage of missiles were hit by them, and it had done a lot of damage in the Israel. But we need to discuss what was the main motive behind this attack and why was it is different from 2025 and what are the motives behind this attack by Israel and America. In the if you watch the whole scenarios of 2025, then there was only attack by Israel only. Obviously, it was supported by America, but it was on the front. It was only Israel that attacked Iran. But rebuttal by Iran, they deeply hit inside the Israel and they damaged a lot of infrastructure in Israel in the last years. But the fact was that the Iranian establishment were compromised, Iranian leadership was compromised, and many people were compromised at that conflict between both the countries, due to which Iran suffered a lot of huge losses at that time. But how this is different than from that scenario? If you know, last year there were a huge protest against Iranian regimes, radical regimes of Ayatollah Khamenei. There were huge protests, and Israel and USA both wants a regime change in Iran. That's why they stage a protest and they ignite and they funded money and they buy the people of Iran who were staging protest against their leaderships and against all the other peoples who were that they are a little bit more religious as compared to those protesters. And as well as Israel also launched the so-called Prince of Iran. That was the son of the ousted king of Iran in the middle of 70s. That happened, and that was his son. They launched it. They want to change this regime. Why they want to change this regime? If this regime stays there, this regime will go for nuclear. They make nuclear nukes. They will defend their territory. Their authority as well as influence of Israel will diminish with the passage of time if Iran got more power. And with this regime, that's very possible. Within few years, Iran will surpass and it will directly challenge Israel. USA wants to divide this whole Muslim world by using Israel, and is silent or hidden. USA that they will back Israel. They want dismantle of Middle East as well as Iran. And if Iran falls with these attacks, then they will go for Pakistan. If you look at the global geopolitics, Afghanistan is playing as a role of a proxy for India, and Indian Prime Minister was in Israel, and that strike happens in Iran. So although it is very bad time for India for this kind of things, but power politics is shifting in that way. There are two kind of blocks emerging, and in the Middle East, one is based and what is backed by Israel, UAE, and India, and other is backed by Saudi Arabia and other relevant countries. So India is there, and Netanyahu supported Taliban against Pakistan. So if Iran falls, and the leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, have been killed by these attacks in last night. They some of the peoples who were compromised in Iranian establishment and the confederate of Ayatollah Khamenei, they give their locations and they pinpoint Ayatollah Khamenei, and he is killed by those strikes. Leadership vacuum created in Iran, so that the local people of Iran who are not satisfied with this government, Israel and America wants those people to come and create a chaos in Iran, and it becomes like a next Syria and Iraq. If that happens, it is not good for the region. It will increase just the influence of Israel, and the next coming war will be the nuclear war, and that war is going to happen between Pakistan and Israel. Obviously, this is the obvious thing which going to be looks in the forward. But if you want to look at the role of USA, Iman has said it's not the war of USA. Why USA is getting involved in these things? Donald Trump wants Nobel Prize in the last year, but in this year they changed their policy. They don't want a Nobel Prize. He hosted a sitting prime minister and kidnapped prime minister or president of Venezuela, Maduro, and drug smugglings. There are a lot of issues with Venezuela and with specifically Maduro. After the kidnapping, whole topic have been closed by the Donald Trump, but those drug smuggling and all other things are just going on as per plan. But no issue. Just a destabilization has been created by America in Venezuela. Now it's the time of if they succeeded in creating this kind of situation in Iran, then the next number is of Cuba. They want to remove their leadership as well. And this is unstable mindset of Donald Trump, which is affecting the whole world, whole humanity, which is getting badly affected by his narrow-mindedness and his attitude. And let's see how this war will evolve. In the last night, Iran also hit all the Gulf states. It also infuriated those Gulf states, but those nations need to understand that they are giving spaces and bases to Israel, USA, and the whole missile and aircraft are coming from Israel are going through those countries and unhindered. They are going place of all those Gulf states. So these states need to be neutral. If these states need to be neutral, then their space should not be used by USA, and we should make sure their space should be neutral and it should not be used against Iran. Then Iran will not going to attack them. Otherwise, there's a whole Arab world is going into a chaos, and it's just started. And Israel and America wants these things, and India is just joining with this thing. But India should be also be aware that if Donald Trump is doing this thing with all other countries, if afterward Iran, if Pakistan fall, then who's next? Obviously, India is next. Then they will hit India because India has not that kind of terrorists who can restrain or refrain USA from doing these things. So next will be India, and if these all things goes as per plan, then there will only left a one country, that is with China. This is the ultimate enemy of USA, the threat perceived by USA. China don't consider America as a threat, but they prepared themselves for USA and war with all. But this so-called hypocrite states of West, they are doing this thing to destabilize all other worlds and want to extract their resources so that their people could not be flourished. They should deprived. They should be killed. Whatever that happened with them, they just enjoyed. So let's see how the people of Iran reunited after the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. They united. They need to develop their own leadership. That's good for the region. That's necessary for the innocent peoples. This is quite necessary. This Iran should be stable, and they want to, if they want to change this structure, US and Israel, they want it because they think Iran is a big threat for their evil motives. So they will definitely go, and this war will continue for next few days. Like how it will evolve, we are going to see these things, and how it will affect the whole region and the whole world. We will see this thing. And let's don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. I will give you further details and news of this evolving conflict. Let's see what will happen. Okay.